Dibrey ha'Yamim1, 1Chronicles, chapters 13-16. Dibrey ha'Yamim1, 1Chronicles, chapter 13. And David consulted with the commanders of thousands and hundreds, and with every leader. And David said to all the assembly of Yisrael, if it seems good to you, and if it is of Yahuah our Elohim, let us send out to our brothers everywhere who are left in the land of Yisrael, and with them to the Kohanim and Levites who are in their cities of their open lands, and let them be gathered to us, and let us bring the ark of our Elohim back to us, for we sought him not since the days of Shaul. And all the assembly agreed to do so, for the matter was right in the eyes of all the people. So David assembled all Yisrael, from Shechor in Mitzrayim to as far as the entrance of Hamath, to bring the ark of Elohim from Kiriath Yearim. And David and all Yisrael went up to Baalah, to Kiriath Yearim of Yehudah, to bring up from there the ark of Elohim, Yahuah, who dwells between the cherubim, where the name is called on. And they placed the ark of Elohim on a new wagon from the house of Avinadab, and Uzzah and Achio were leading the wagon. And David and all Yisrael were playing before Elohim with all their might, and with songs, and with lyres, and with harps, and with tambourines, and with cymbals, and with trumpets. And when they came to the threshing floor of Kidon, Uzzah put out his hand to hold the ark, for the oxen stumbled. Then the wrath of Yahuah burned against Uzzah, and he smote him because he put his hand to the ark, and he died there before Elohim. And David was displeased because Yahuah had broken out against Uzzah. Therefore that place is called Perez Uzzah until this day. And David was afraid of Yahuah that day, saying, how shall I bring the ark of Elohim to me? So David did not take the ark with him into the city of David, but took it aside into the house of Obed-Edom the Gittite. And the ark of Elohim remained with the house of Obed-Edom in his house 3 months. And Yahuah baraked the house of Obed-Edom and all that he had. Dibrey ha'Yamim1, 1Chronicles, chapter 14. And Hiram, sovereign of Zor, sent messengers to David, and cedar trees with stonemasons and carpenters to build him a house. And David knew that Yahuah had established him as sovereign over Yisrael, for his reign was highly exalted for the sake of his people Yisrael. And David took more wives in Jerusalem, and David brought forth more sons and daughters. And these are the names of his children whom he had in Jerusalem: Shemua and Shobab, Nathan and Shalomo, and Yivchar, and Elishua, and Elpelet, and Noga, and Nepheg, and Yaphia, and Elishama, and Baal Yada, and Eliphalet. And when the Pelishtites heard that David had been anointed sovereign over all Yisrael, all the Pelishtites went up to seek David, and David heard and went out against them. And the Pelishtites came and made a raid on the valley of Rephaim. And David inquired of Yahuah, saying, do I go up against the Pelishtites, and shall you give them into my hand? And Yahuah said to him, go up, and I shall give them into your hand. And they went up to Baal Perazim, and David smote them there. Then David said, Yahuah has broken through my enemies by my hand like a breakthrough of water. So they called the name of that place Baal Perazim. And they left their mighty ones there. So David commanded, and they were burned with fire. And the Pelishtites once again made a raid on the valley. And David again inquired of Yahuah, and Yahuah said to him, do not go up after them, go around them, and come upon them in front of the mulberry trees. And it shall be when you hear a sound of stepping in the tops of the mulberry trees, then go out to battle, for Elohim shall go out before you to smite the camp of the Pelishtites. And David did as Yahuah commanded him, and they drove back the army of the Pelishtites from Givon as far as Gezer. And the name of David went out into all the lands, and Yahuah put the dread of him upon all nations. Dibrey ha'Yamim1, 1Chronicles, chapter 15. And he built houses for himself in the city of David, and he prepared a place for the ark of Elohim, and pitched a tent for it. Then David said, No one is to lift the ark of Elohim but the Levites, for Yahuah has chosen them to lift the ark of Elohim and to serve him forever. And David assembled all Yisrael at Jerusalem to bring up the ark of Yahuah to its place, which he had prepared for it. And David gathered the children of Aaron and the Levites of the sons of Kehath, Uriel the chief, and 120 of his brothers. Of the sons of Merari, Asaiah the chief, and 220 of his brothers. Of the sons of Gershom, Yoel the chief, and 130 of his brothers. Of the sons of Elizaphan, Shemaiah the chief, and 200 of his brothers. Of the sons of Hebron, Eliel the chief, and 80 of his brothers. Of the sons of Uzziel, Aminadab the chief, and 112 of his brothers. And David called for Zadok and Abiathar the Kohanim, and for the Levites, for Uriel, Asaiah, and Yoel, Shemaiah, and Eliel, and Aminadab, and said to them, You are the heads of the fathers of the Levites. Kadosh yourselves, you and your brothers. Then you shall bring up the ark of Yahuah Elohim of Yisrael to the place I have prepared for it. Because you did not do it the first time, Yahuah our Elohim broke out against us, because we did not ask him about the right ruling. So the Kohanim and the Levites kadosh themselves to bring up the ark of Yahuah Elohim of Yisrael. And the children of the Levites bore the ark of Elohim on their shoulders by its poles, as Moshe had commanded, according to the word of Yahuah. And David spoke to the leaders of the Levites to appoint their brothers, the singers, with instruments of song, harps, and lyres, and cymbals, to lift up the voice with joy. And the Levites appointed Heman, son of Yoel, and of his brothers, Asaph, son of Berechiahu, and of their brothers, the sons of Merari, Ethan, son of Cushayahu, and with them their brothers of the second rank, Zechariahu, Bain, and Yaaziel, and Shemiramoth, and Yechiel, and Unai, Eliav, and Benayahu, and Maaseyahu, and Mattityahu, and Eliphelehu, and Mikneyahu, and Obed-Edom, and Yael, the gatekeepers. And the singers, Heman, Asaph, and Ethan, were to sound the cymbals of bronze, and Zechariah, and Aziel, and Shemiramoth, and Yechiel, and Unai, and Eliab, and Maaseyahu, and Benayahu, with harps besides sopranos, and Mattityahu, and Eliphelehu, and Mikneyahu, and Obed-Edom, and Yael, and Azazyahu, to lead on the 8-stringed lyres, and Kenanyahu, leader of the Levites, in the song, because he was skilled. And Berechiah and Elkanah were doorkeepers for the ark, and Shevanyahu, and Yoshaphat, and Nethanel, and Amasai, and Zechariahu, and Benayahu, and Elizur, the Kohanim, were to blow the trumpets before the ark of Elohim, and Obed-Edom and Yechiah were doorkeepers for the ark. And it was David and the elders of Yisrael and the commanders over thousands who went to bring up the ark of the covenant of Yahuah from the house of Obed-Edom with joy. And it came to be, when Elohim helped the Levites who bore the ark of the covenant of Yahuah, that they offered 7 bulls and 7 rams. And David was dressed in a robe of fine linen, as were all the Levites who bore the ark, the singers, and Kenaniah, the leader of the service with the singers. And David wore a linen shoulder garment. So all Yisrael brought up the ark of the covenant of Yahuah with shouting, and with the sound of the horn, with trumpets and with cymbals, sounding with harps and lyres. And it came to be, as the ark of the covenant of Yahuah came to the city of David, that Michal, the daughter of Shaul, looking through a window, saw sovereign David dancing and playing, and she despised him in her heart. Dibrey ha'Yamim1, 1Chronicles, chapter 16. And they brought the ark of Elohim and put it in the midst of the tent that David had pitched for it. And they brought burnt offerings and peace offerings before Yahuah. And when David had made an end of offering the burnt offerings and the peace offerings, he barach the people in the name of Yahuah, and gave a portion to everyone of Yisrael, both man and woman, to everyone a loaf of bread, a measure, and a cake of raisins. And he appointed some of the Levites to serve before the ark of Yahuah, to bring to remembrance and to thank and to praise Yahuah, Elohim of Yisrael. Asaph the chief and his second, Zechariah, Yael, and Shemirmoth, and Yechiel, and Mattithiah, and Eliav, and Benayahu, and Obed-Edom, and Yael, with harps and lyres. But Asaph was sounding with cymbals, and Benayahu and Yachaziel, the Kohanim, continually blew the trumpets before the ark of the covenant of Elohim. And on that day, David first gave thanks to Yahuah by the hand of Asaph and his brothers. Give thanks to Yahuah, call upon his name, make known his deeds among the peoples. Sing to him, sing praise to him, speak of all his wonders. Boast in his Kodesh name. Let the hearts of those seeking Yahuah rejoice. Seek Yahuah and his strength. Seek his face continually. Remember his wonders which he has done, his signs and the right rulings of his mouth. O seed of Yisrael, his servant. O children of Yaakov, his chosen ones. He is Yahuah, our Elohim. His right rulings are in all the earth. Remember his covenant forever, the word he commanded for 1,000 generations, which he made with Abraham, and his oath to Yitzhak, and he established it to Yaakov for a law, to Yisrael as an everlasting covenant, saying, To you I give the land of Canaan, the portion of your inheritance. When you were but few in number, few indeed, and sojourners in it, and they went up and down from one nation to another, and from one reign to another people, he allowed no one to oppress them, and he reproved sovereigns for their sakes. Do not touch my anointed ones, and do my Nevi'im no evil. Sing to Yahuah, all the earth. Proclaim his deliverance from day to day. Declare his esteem among the nations, his wonders among all peoples. For great is Yahuah, and greatly to be praised, and he is to be revered above all mighty ones. For all the mighty ones of the peoples are matters of naught. But Yahuah made the Shamayim. Excellency and splendor are before him. Strength and gladness are in his place. Ascribe to Yahuah, O clans of the peoples. Ascribe to Yahuah esteem and strength. Ascribe to Yahuah the esteem of his name. Bring an offering and come before him. Bow yourself to Yahuah in the splendor of Kodeshah. Tremble before him, all the earth. The world also is firmly established, immovable. Let the Shamayim rejoice, and let the earth be glad, and let them say among the nations, Yahuah shall reign. Let the sea roar and all that fills it. Let the field rejoice and all that is in it. Let the trees of the forest then sing before Yahuah, for he shall come to judge the earth. Give thanks to Yahuah, for he is good, for his kindness is everlasting. And say, Save us, O Elohim, of our deliverance, and gather us together, and deliver us from the Gentiles, to give thanks to your Kodesh name, and boast in your praise. Baruch be Yahuah, Elohim of Yisrael, from everlasting to everlasting. And all the people said, Amen, and praised Yahuah. So he left Asaph and his brothers there before the ark of the covenant of Yahuah to perform regular service before the ark, as each day required. Also Obed-Edom with his 68 brothers, including Obed-Edom, son of Yeduthan, and Huzah, to be gatekeepers, and Zadok the Kohen and his brothers the Kohanim before the Mishkan of Yahuah at the high place that was at Givon, to offer burnt offerings to Yahuah on the altar of burnt offering regularly morning and evening, and to do according to all that is written in the Torah of Yahuah, which he commanded Yisrael. And with them Heman and Yeduthan and the rest who were chosen, who were designated by name to give thanks to Yahuah, because his kindness is everlasting. And with them Heman and Yeduthan to sound aloud with trumpets and cymbals and instruments for the songs of Elohim, and the sons of Yeduthan for the gate. And all the people went, each one to his house, and David returned to Barak his house.